Duva there, and you probably saw him in the gold jacket screaming across at Donald Curry. Hunnigan trying to plant that in his mind, a reminder of that devastating defeat and loss of his title, Donald Curry to Lloyd Hunnigan. But it's Mike McCallum he's in there against now, and Mike McCallum, I think Gil feels that he's got a lot to show, a lot to prove here tonight. Curry is the favorite in this fight. It really rankled McCallum, and I know that he feels, even though he's unbeaten, that he has not yet been accepted as a great champion, and in the higher rank of boxers, the guys who make the big money. So this is his opportunity to prove to the boxing world that he deserves that kind of appreciation.
But Tim, the only reason I can see that the odds makers have made Donald Curry the favorite is they completely threw out the Hunnigan fight. Before the Hunnigan fight, a lot of people were saying he was the best fighter in the world, pound for pound. But we have to remember that the Hunnigan fight did take place. Let's see how much, that it did take out of Donald Curry.
Well, and even in the two victories since then, they were somewhat tainted because of the fact that they were wins by disqualification. Tony Montgomery and Carlos Santos both being disqualified in the 5th round, coincidentally, for headbutting. And in each case, Curry was criticized afterward, and indeed in your commentary, for exposing his head to both Montgomery and Santos and making it possible for that to happen.
Well, Tim, what would happen was Donald would put his head in front of his gloves. Your gloves are always supposed to be in front of your head, and that was partially responsible for the head clashes.
Well, we'll watch for it in this bout, round number 1.
Tim, in a first round like this, I know when I was managing and training fighters, I always got very, very nervous because both these guys can punch, and you have to be a little tight in that first round.
Richard Steele is the referee, and a little warning there to McCallum to keep the punches up. Mike McCallum, 31-0 in his career, born in Jamaica, won the title from Sean Mannion in 1984. 5 successful defenses, tremendously impressive against Milton McCrory in his last outing, stopping him in 10. Curry, as we mentioned, coming back after the loss to Hunnigan with 2 victories, winning on disqualification.
What I like about Mike McCallum is anytime you're in front of him, he'll flick that jab out. He'll move his hands. Keeps busy.
Has the nickname the body snatcher because he is a good body puncher, but he has shown power upstairs as well, as his knockout record would indicate. Pretty solid round for Donald Curry so far, but what about where he's got his head so far in round 1, Gil?
Well, as you see, he keeps his head up, Tim, which is a no-no in boxing. His head is straight up in the air.
Coming to the end of round 1.
Don't hold him. Keep him up. Break.
Round number 2 of the scheduled 15-round WBA junior middleweight bout. Mike McCallum in gold, Donald Curry in black. And in the first round, we agreed with 2 of the judges, giving it to Donald Curry, 10-9. Ovi Ovesen of Denmark and Jerry Roth of Las Vegas saw it that way. Guy Jutra of Canada gave the first round to McCallum.
Tim, both these guys are very, very good technical fighters. Keep their hands up, elbows in.
Curry certainly did not appear to be rattled by the Hunnigan references hurled at him by Lou Duva. He's been fighting with confidence through the first round and showing poise here early in the second, but likewise for McCallum.
Keep him up. Keep him up.
There are the body shots from McCallum, and again the warning to Steele to keep him up.
Inside there, Mike McCallum threw 6 unanswered punches. I don't know what Donald Curry was waiting for when he was inside like that. And again, you see Mike just flips that jab out. Anytime you're in front of him, he's busy.
Curry has scored with 2 consecutive jabs that he's thrown. Some suggestion that McCallum is prone to be hit with lefts because he will drop his right hand, and he'll drop his left on that side as well.
Good body shot by Mike McCallum. Again, he's the busier of the 2 fighters. That takes years in the gym, Tim, to learn that simple move. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Keeps the other guy a little bit off balance.
Been quite an odyssey for McCallum. Very successful amateur. Then winding up in the Kronk stable ultimately, and as a professional, and dissatisfied there because of the attention paid to Tommy Hearns, and finally gets his title opportunity. Then a big money fight against Donald Curry that fell apart. So he's got a lot of resentment about Curry and his position in boxing today. And McCallum, you can see, fighting with some special fury here in this second round.
Landing some nice short punches, Tim. Those are the kind that bust the guy up. Little short uppercuts inside.
He is excellent inside. Unbeaten in 31 bouts.
See that little uppercut inside? But, oh!
Solid right hand by Curry that really wobbled McCallum. Had to give a tremendous amount of confidence to Curry. McCallum battling right back, but his legs buckled, nearly went down. Final seconds of the second round. Well, Mike McCallum survived that big right hand from Donald Curry near the end of round 2. As we saw the round, however, McCallum had the best of it right until those final seconds. But the judges, all three, gave round number 2 to Donald Curry. So we're in the third, scheduled for 15. McCallum in gold, Curry in black.
That right hand was a big punch by Curry, Tim, but McCallum was doing damage inside, those short little punches.
You see a little bit of swelling around the left eye of Donald Curry here early in round number 3. Curry just does not look like the same boxer to me that he was earlier in his career, certainly pre-Hunnigan, Gil, and that his style is even different. He just doesn't protect himself as well, doesn't have the same movement.
Tim, he seems to fight with his head up in the air now, like he's looking for something.
Now looking to unload that big right hand, which is a potent weapon indeed, but does seem to be a little more vulnerable, a little more open than he used to be.
And McCallum has landed a couple of good body shots this round, as has Donald Curry. Landed some good solid punches this round.
We talked about how important the fight was to McCallum to prove that he belongs among the top rank of champions. It's certainly hugely important to Donald Curry. After the loss to Hunnigan, much for him to prove, and the two kind of tainted victories, one on by disqualification. He feels like he's got to show that he's the Donald Curry of old.
McCallum is putting pressure on Curry. He's making him work. Look how slick that Mike McCallum is inside.
Right, stop that clean. Don't spinning, don't spinning.
Richard Steele warned McCallum for spinning. If you go to any gym, you'll hear the trainers teaching their guys how to do that.
That's right. All you do is say, "I'm sorry, I won't do it again." You know. Meanwhile, you've already accomplished something. But
now Curry willing to work inside here. McCallum, the reputation for being a terrific inside fighter, but Curry held his own in that exchange.
Put your heads inside.
good left hook to the body by Donald. There's those heads clashing again. Tim. I think Donald Curry's forehead must have a magnet attached to it.
And McCallum's good body work here in round number 3 as time winds down.
Keep him in front. Keep him in front. All right, break, step back. Keep him in front, okay?
And Donald Curry's left eye, Tim, is starting to swell pretty good.
You'd see that developing early in this round.
Don't hold him down. Don't hold
And this
him
was
down.
scheduled for 15, don't forget, so may well have become a factor. Final seconds of round 3. Number 4, and a close round in the third. Two judges, Guy Jutra and Jerry Roth, scored it for Donald Curry, while Ovi Ovison scored round 3 for Mike McCallum, as did Gil Clancy, watching it here with us. And so we're into the 4th round. Curry in black, McCallum in gold. They worked on Donald Curry's eye between rounds, and there he gets off to a good start with that shot to the head of McCallum. Remember back in round 2, he wobbled McCallum right at the end of the round with a big right hand. Swelling more evident around the left eye of Curry.
There's Curry stepping back and dropping his hands, Tim.
And still very erect and upright for most of the time. You saw him duck down on the last move there.
Throws those bombs, though, Tim. Nothing wrong with that left hook.
No, and he can punch at this weight, no question about that.
Watch those short little punches of McCallum inside, though. Really beating up on Donald inside.
McCallum never comes out of there without throwing some punches.
And he has Donald backing up a little bit now.
You get into those pushing matches, and McCallum will usually wind up throwing the last punch before they break.
Step back.
And managed to even sneak in that one there and gets a warning from Steele for holding and hitting.
Punch inside to get out. Punch and get out.
Curry willing to fight inside in this fourth round, but McCallum, as we see it, got the best of it to this point.
The busier fighter, Tim, inside.
Punch and get out.
Nice combination by McCallum. Woke Donald Curry up. But Curry has that head up. He seems to be peering all the time. I don't know. You can just see the line going down. His head is up in the air.
Come on, punch and get out. Don't hold him down. Break.
Now, we saw this one as a good round for Michael McCallum, mainly to the infighting skills he showed, and Curry being willing to stay inside was in effect giving the advantage to McCallum.
Punch and get out. Don't hold him.
End of round 4.
Break.
The judges, Ovi Ovison and Jerry Roth, scored round 4 for Curry. Guy Jutra scored it even. Gil Clancy and I gave round 4 to Mike McCallum, and it just underlines the subjectivity of scoring professional boxing. On my card, the fight is even at 2 rounds apiece through 4, and Gil Clancy has McCallum ahead 3 rounds to 1. We're early in round number 5, scheduled for 15, this WBA junior middleweight title fight. McCallum in gold, Curry in black.
Curry starts this round off very well, Tim. Good right hand to the body. Here's a good combination. Left hook under, right hand on the chin. Classic combination from Donald Curry. But that left eye is giving him a problem now, Tim.
And he's working outside here in this 5th round. Was inside much of the 4th round.
They're both looking for openings right now, feinting, moving around.
And here comes the knockout punch right there. You saw a little bob and weave defensively from McCallum, and then as Curry pulled back, dropped his hands, McCallum never had his eye off the target, Gil. Superior left hook right on the chin, and Curry went down like a tree.
Tim, Curry made one of the basic errors in boxing that you teach beginners not to make. He pulled his left foot back, stepped back, and dropped his hands.
Well, for Michael McCallum, that perfect punch is certainly euphoria for him and euphoria for Lou Duva, because for McCallum, as we said, there was a lot to prove here, and beating Donald Curry, who was the favorite despite being the challenger. For Mike McCallum, it was an opportunity to show that he was as good as any of the champions out there. Donald Curry quickly attended to, and the ring physician, Dr. Donald Romeo, trying to get his corner to cut the gloves off and get ice on his neck, but Curry, unfortunately, was all right. And a happy Mike McCallum delivered the perfect punch, defending his title successfully for the 6th time. And that man in gold there, Georgie Benton, had a lot to do with it. Outstanding boxer and the trainer of Mike McCallum. Now let's go back. Gil, tell us again.
Let's watch Donald Curry's left foot. That's the key, the left foot. Now you'll see there's the left foot stepping back, dropping his hands, wide open. It only takes a split second, and that's what does it.
Curry himself said after the fact that he made a bad mistake, but you have to admire McCallum keeping his eye on the target.
There
Look where
goes
he
the
is.
foot back. As soon as that left foot went back, Tim, his feet were even, dropped his hands, he was wide open.
And McCallum took advantage of it. And Donald Curry tried gamely to get up, but he just had nothing left. It was a terrific one-punch knockout. One more time. The hands down, the foot back, as Gil pointed out. And Michael McCallum now hopes that he will find himself in the middle of things. The big money fights. Talk of a middleweight title try, and we'll be discussing that with him live here from Colorado Springs. Mike McCallum defending his WBA junior middleweight crown successfully for the 6th time with a dramatic knockout in the 5th round of Donald Curry. And with us live, Mike McCallum here in Colorado Springs. And Mike, I know you enjoyed seeing that great victory again. Did you feel, as I indicated going into the fight, that it was very important for you to look good, beat Donald Curry, and prove yourself to be one of the top champions?
Remember, guys, just 8 months ago, Donald Curry was rated, pound for pound, the greatest fighter of all time. Going in the ring with Donald Curry, I mean, I'm a fighter who wanted to be noted, wanted to be recognized. So it was a great opportunity for me. I welcome the fact of fighting Donald Curry. And it was beautiful fighting him.
And did you feel that way after it was over, that now you've proved your point?
It was a great finish, I think, and I think the world knows Mike McCallum now, sure.
All right, Mike, and obviously the future is very bright for him, Gil.
All right, what's next, Mike? There's a few guys out there. Who do you want?
Well, I want all of them. I, of course, would like to fight Agler. I'd like to fight Thomas Hearns. And if Ray wanted to take the mud ball off his robe, I'd be glad to welcome him also.
Ray Leonard. Well, all right. Well, now, one of the fights that's been talked about is the winner of the Hearns Roldan, which would be for the middleweight title. You would indicate then that you'd be comfortable as a middleweight.
Sure. Well, there's, my handlers and I were talking about moving up in the middleweight class. Nothing definite as yet, but I'm thinking it will be a positive move because I've done what I will have to do as a welterweight, as a junior middleweight. I've defended the title 6 times successfully. I beat one of the greatest fighters of all time, Donald Curry. So I'm glad to move up in weight, and hopefully we'll fight Tommy Hearns after this fight if he does win this fight.
Well, there's also talk about Donald Curry saying he's ready to offer you $1 million for a rematch.
I've read that book last week, so I'm not thinking of going backwards. I'm thinking of, right now I'm looking parallel with the guys like Leonard and Hearns and Agler. First time I had to be looking up in the air, now I'm looking across.